like a final apocalyptic flood, if you want to call that. Children, Matthew 13:12 ad shall rise up against parents and cause them to be put to death. But the main thing here is like in Luke 21:20. When you see Jerusalem encompassed by armies, then you shall know that the desolation is at hand, and let them flee to the mountains. So Jerusalem encompassed by armies is the coming of the Romans, clearly, to take Jerusalem. Again, it depends on how you see things. If you think that this is real speech, then it's predictive. If you think it's retrospective, people who already know about the Romans coming, then it's retrospective. So that's one of the main quotes here that is used to show this as retrospective. Again, I can't be, these are some favorite passages for you, but we can't dwell on them too much. I want to run along here. I'm just picking out what's interesting. The stars shall fall, line 29 of Matthew, 24 of Mark, 26 of Luke. The reason I always say these things are retrospective is the people are getting it wrong. Now, I may be nuts, and you may have a reason to explain this, but the Son of Man is not a prophetical notation. So the Son of Man shows someone who doesn't understand the Scripture but is reading it in perhaps a foreign language, or getting it orally, reading it in Greek or Latin or something like that. Daniel doesn't ever speak of the Son of Man. He speaks of one like a Son of Man. That is, one who looked like a man but was actually not a man, more than a man. And when Ezekiel uses the Son of Man, he's speaking to himself. Son of Man, prophesy unto the nations. Son of Man, tell them that God is angry, blah, 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 blah. How many have read the prophet Ezekiel? It's all through Ezekiel, but particularly from around chapter 35 onwards. You can read Ezekiel, it's very inspiring, but he's addressing himself, the prophet. Son of Man, speak, and he means by that man, in Hebrew, Ben Adam, son of Adam. Adam and man are the same thing. Adam and man are the same thing in Hebrew. And, son of Adam means you're a human being. So you're not the Son of Man, you're a Son of Man. So there's just no Son of Man predicted in the prophets. It just doesn't exist. So the whole material about the Son of Man is inaccurate. I'm sorry to be the harbinger, because I know it's so well known and widespread. Now, you will see the Son of Man coming in cloud with power and great glory. Okay. That is a speech predicated of James in early church testimony in Hegesippus from the 2nd century. Hegesippus died, I think, around 180 AD. And he says that James, when he's about to be killed, stood on the pinnacle of the temple or the steps of the temple or something and spoke about seeing the Son of Man and so on and so forth. May or may not be an accurate speech, but the point is, those are the kind of things that are being predicated of these teachers in this movement. But it's even more pronounced in the War Scroll from the Dead Sea Scroll. If you've read the War Scroll, I think a lot of you have, the War of the Sons of Light against the Sons of Darkness, If you look in column 10, 11, and 18 and 19, it speaks of the star prophecy. There will come from Jacob a scepter, a star to rule the world. Something to that effect is from Numbers 24:17. It's supposed to be the messianic prophecy. It quotes it in completely in the War Scroll. And then it goes on to what looks like expound that prophecy. And it said, it then picks up something, I think, from Isaiah. And by the sword of no mere man, and by the sword of no mere man, no mere Adam. Something more than a man. That's another prophetical statement woven into the fabric of the War Scroll from the Dead Sea Scrolls. He will lead the poor, and the heavenly host, and the myriads of angels, and heavenly holy ones. I quoted in the preface to my, the dedication preface to my New Testament code, because I think it's so important. Anyway, it pictures this no mere man leading the heavenly host on the clouds to render judgment on all that grows on earth. But it doesn't picture the Son of Man. It pictures the Messianic, or maybe God himself, it's not clear which, with all his angels coming on. The angels and the heaven hosts are pictured like clouds, shedding judgment like a torrent of rain. Now, I think this is picking up from that. That is the whole imagery of a flood, of a torrent of rain, and so on. Second apocalyptic flood, if you want to call it that. So what I encourage you to look at, take a look at the War Scroll. You'll see this whole imagery of this coming of the heavenly hosts on the clouds of glory, or whatever you want to call it. It's put in much more compressed language here, and so on. By the way, he speaks about heaven and earth not passing away, but heaven and earth passing away, but my words never passing away. Earlier, I think, how did he put it, or how's he pictured as putting it, depending on how you see it? I think in Matthew it says something like, in terms of what's the heaven and earth things. I think it says, not one jot or tittle shall pass away from the law until